Hi, I'm Alan Morgan, the Director of Business Development and Market Development at Solar Smart Living, and I wanted to show you guys kind of what part of the Solar Smart Living lifestyle is, and we'll start with some video of plants in my garden. Here's our fall decorations and some of the plants that are starting to come back now. Now that it's starting to cool off a little bit, the desert temperatures aren't killing everything. So kind of give you guys an idea. We got some tarragon, some mums, our other mums and snapdragons. I just trimmed everything so it doesn't really show how beautiful they look when they're in full bloom. That kind of gives you an idea of some of the things that we're doing. And then over here, I trimmed some lavender. This is Spanish lavender. It died back. A majority of it died back during the summer because it was so hot. So I'm trying to bring that back. And then here's some English lavender. That's starting to come back a little bit. It's cooling off. And then here, and then we've got, of course, our desert plants. But this is kind of our front. Forgive me for moving fast if I am, but we'll kind of go take a little bit of a walk over here, and you guys can see the rest of the decorations and stuff. But, you know, our whole front is landscaped. Most of that came with the house, but I planted some lavender over here. I got two holes that they died back this year from the heat, and I'm going to work on getting some new ones in there. But let's take a look in the garden itself. You can see some birds flying around. Here's our compost bin, and then over here we actually have some pumpkin growing. Nothing harvestable yet, mostly because the heat really did a number on it this year. Then here's some tomatoes and serrano peppers, some eggplant, and then over here we have some beets and onions and carrots starting to grow. And then over here we have some red cabbage and some broccoli. This is kind of our fall crop here. On the back end we have some snow peas and leftover beans from the summer, and then some more peas. And then right here we have some tomatoes growing. This is a different kind of tomato. It's a heirloom tomato, but you can kind of see, you know, some of the stuff that's starting to come up now. I had to trim the edges. I don't know if you can see, but some of the edges, they have to be trimmed to put a little bit more energy from the plant into, instead of growing more of the sprouts, you're putting more energy into the tomatoes. So you can see all the way around here, we've got tomatoes growing everywhere. And then of course here is our big tarragon hedge. So if anybody would like some tarragon, please let me know. Then we actually have some spinach and some parsley growing there. And over here we have some arugula growing. This is the remnants of our stevia plant, which is starting to die back now because of the fall. Down here, and I'll go on the other side soon too, but you'll see we have more cabbage and red cabbage and some of the vine from the pumpkin. And over here is our asparagus forest, I like to call it, because it really is. These are all the sprouts that took off and became fronds. Then we got some basil right there. And over here we have some kale. So we've got kale growing and a tomato plant that came back from last year. I haven't quite decided whether I want to trim it back. And here's our cabbage and some more tarragon. And then as you can see, you've got this big, massive pumpkin plant that's growing all the way over here. There's the pumpkin itself. You can take a look. It's still a baby. I mean, I don't even know if how it'll turn out this year, because this is the latest pumpkins have ever grown in my garden. They don't usually do too well. What I did notice this morning is that I've got a brand new sprout here. So I don't know if you can see this. This flower has a bulb on it. That's going to be a pumpkin. So I propagated the. Actually, I kind of spread around some of the. I can't even think of what it's called. The pollen, and so I hand pollinated it. And then let's go over here to the other side of the garden. We have some zucchini growing over here. This is the first time I've actually grown zucchini in a pot. I just harvested one big one that I took into the house, but we're just trying to see if it'll work out. I was reading up on fall zucchinis, and they seem to be doing pretty good. Then over here we have a orange. It's kind of like a mandarin orange plant. Still trying to get that thing to take off. And we have over here, we have some mint, chocolate mint, spearmint, cherry tomato plant, a jalapeno plant, our bougainvillea, and this is my blackberry bush, which we actually got some blackberries out of today. I mean, out this year, but we're going to try to harvest some more next year after I plant it in the ground. I don't know how that will, but it might do a little bit better in the ground. And then last but not least, over here we have a lemon tree, which is starting to get a little taller. It's now above the rock wall, so hopefully that will come back next year. And that's it. And then on the interior, we have a little arrow garden here that I'm growing jalapeno peppers in. That's where I actually started my seeds. And then over here, I have some lavender sprouts. I grew all of these from seed this year, so hopefully by the spring we'll have a lot to plant.